Testing. Let's see. Wait a second. Boom, boom, boom. Haha. Dun, 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 dun. It's time to bring the next thing for our viewing. Time to pause and make everyone mad. It's time to judge which tangents are worth doing, and whether things are funny or they're sad. 'Cause we're back now for a second week. The tape's still up, so let us peek. My camera's died. Well, isn't that bleak? Oh, great. Time for VHS Miss. Welcome back. I'm Jacob.
I'm BB, and this is Peak.
Yeah. What just happened? It says, "Oh, I lost connection to my camera. Fantastic! I had a whole bits and everything."
It wouldn't be a Butterbunch stream if this didn't happen, guys. Don't worry, this is all according to God's fucking plan.
Yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, for once I've actually planned an intro for one of these. Okay. Oh well.
Serves you right.
It couldn't handle the bars. Yeah. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that. Let me see. Is it working again?
No. Oh well.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. There we go. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. The time for VHS Mess. So yes, we are back for the second week of our dive into VHS Mess. It might be the last. It depends, because we did get requests to watch the rest of everything in its entirety, but the show is still divided up into Gift of the Magi, Little Match Girl, and Christmas Carol. So we may end up doing a third week of this. It depends. And also depends, I guess, like how long this stays up, because this is still a limited time only available video on Starkid's channel, and we're not entirely sure what it looks like for the future of these reviews, but also this video in general, because they haven't said how long the time is limited for. People are hoping it's forever, but that's not the implication. So we'll see.
Man, I'm talking about profanity. Man, there's so much more of that in my diary, which I've been writing in a lot more this month out of usual.
I'm curious what the original thing about the profanity was. Where was the profanity before?
It was something I said a bit ago.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I forgot to trim out this part of the video, so we're gonna fast forward through this. It's roughly around here anyway. Okay. Oh, nope, slightly too far ahead, I think. About here. There we go. They have it available to buy in the future. Oh, okay, fair enough then. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, once they make it available to buy, if that's the case, then we will unlist these videos at that point. Because we did say that if they made this banner paywall, that obviously it's not fair to distribute their to-pay content if it's like for free. That's kind of like that ruins the whole business model of that. So yeah, but for now we're good. So for now we continue, and for now we review. So I guess Little Match Girl, another story that I am vaguely aware of the plot of, but not to the degree of knowing too much about it. So yeah, going into this mostly blind. I should have missed that play of it that was advertised like 10 years ago in the drama club I was in at the time. Missed opportunity there. Would have you never know when these things will serve you in the future. It's kind of like the random things that you learn in school. It's like, oh yeah, you never think that's going to come up in Gacha review, and then they do. So you never know. Oh well.
I still haven't found a way to use math in my day-to-day life, but
I mean, okay, fair enough. I have. It's called it's called video coordinates for editing complex gachas. But yeah, but aside from that, yeah, I can. Yeah, it's that math's always a tricky one to justify in people's minds. Not that we need to worry about that today. Today we need to worry about other stuff essentially. So look, some other stuff. Without further ado, on with the review.
Other stuff. Yippee! I love it. Mm-hmm. Also, I guess, just to address the elephant in the room, I guess Aiden's not here this time either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was a scheduling thing or if we just forgotten about this. I mean, I think it's forgotten because we do this every Thursday, but you never know. My favorite song in VHS Christmas Carol is coming up now. Oh, well then.
We pause at just the right moment.
We always do. Good start already.
Oh, look, it's
Interesting
Vagina
start already.
Plenty.
Christmas Day, cities.
No one's gonna get, but for context, it's something.
Okay, I feel like we have to have some
yeah.
Dropout fans here. That feels like a decent crossover.
Honestly, it would be a decent crossover if they ever ventured into that. Well, I mean, they've collabed with Smosh before, so you never know. But yeah, like that's also a Dropout video that or a Dropout clip, I suppose, that we shared today. That was mainly for me.
Hustle and bustle on the cold concrete.
Cold wind, cold snow, cold faces with places to go.
Up, down, all over town, wearing coats, wearing frowns.
'Tis the season of Yuletide cheer, but you won't find it here.
On the cold, cold streets of a cold, cold town.
It took me a second, but I just realized what they're referencing with this. The reason they're doing like the exaggerated British accents is because they're referencing Pet Shop Boys, the band from the 80s.
Everyone's on their own, with the cold snow blowing all around, cheering you to the bone.
Sounds like my apartment right now. Still haven't wondered how the heating works in here.
In the fading light between day and night, going home to the cold, cold streets of the city.
I thought they were going to say Rome.
So did I, yeah, the city of Rome.
Yeah. The cold, cold streets of Rome. It was, but I guess maybe, I don't know where the mascot is set. I'm pretty sure it's a Scandinavian tale, so yeah. Joel's got a couple of videos with Tin Can Bros. They're great debates, and Giovanni also works with Tin Can Bros, but not quite Starkid, but close. Okay, all right. Again, slight elements. Fair enough.
Walking through a sea of blank stares. No one sees, no one cares.
No one's out unless they have to be, so everyone is here unhappily.
I will say the one thing they got wrong with the Pet Shop Boys comparison is the fact that you can actually tell what they're saying, because like I'm pretty sure like the song like West End Girls particularly is the one that they seem to be like, you know, referencing with this because it goes from like the the rap to like the singing portions for the chorus and then back and forth. Yeah. Except for in that song it's more like sometimes living in if, when, why, what, in a western town with dead end walls, East End boys and West End girls. Yeah, like that part you're gonna understand. That's the only part they got wrong. They enunciate too much.
Fingers numb, teeth chattering, bundled up in clothes unflattering.
So cold it feels like death. So cold you can see your breath.
Would have been a good moment for Dry Ice, even if it's from the sides.
Cold streets of a cold, cold town. Everyone's on their own.
Well, sure, where would they send it though?
Well,
because I feel like there's
where
nowhere
most Dry
on
Ice goes.
Right, but I don't think there's anywhere safe on stage to send the dry ice. It'll always just like that's not the safest kind of ice, you know? Like you gotta have to be careful whenever you spit it out.
Actually, most dry ice is really secure. Like it's essentially water vapor. If anything, I remember that when I was in I was in the Grim Fairy Tales play that actually I got my name from. They actually said that, you know, breathing it in, it actually, you know, it opens up the lungs a bit more. It actually is better for your breathing. But that might have been like their version. Maybe there's like different ones. But yeah, ultimately, dry ice is actually not that bad most of the time. A fog machine.
Yeah, that's just not true. What? It was, like I was like, am I thinking of the wrong thing? And I looked it up. No, I'm absolutely right. What do you mean? Like the first thing that I see is immediately that it's tied to like height to carbon dioxide. Then over here it's like, is it safe to like consume at all? No. I mean, is it like harmful to human? It causes like there's so many bad reasons to have it.
Well, they definitely said water vapor in the Grim Fairy Tales one. Maybe they used it wrong. Maybe it was just a fog machine that used water vapor. I don't actually know, but they did specify water vapor in that performance. Which means that there's definitely a version out there that is safe to use.
Sure. I would say that dry ice itself is not necessarily the smartest to use.
We should tell that to my sixth form teacher because because that was at the start of every single performance they always had the dryer / fog machine go off even if no one was on stage yet. It was just like from the same corner every single time. It's like it was like their calling card.
Sure.
Even if it just didn't match the show whatsoever to have it.
Yeah, the only thing I can really see that's circumstantial is if it's in like a small, like poorly ventilated room. And I gotta be honest, it doesn't look like the largest area for an audience to be either. So,
I mean, this is your pretty standard black box studio, I think.
it's still pretty
Also,
small.
I know most black box studios are. I'm agreeing with you on this one.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, as far as like the logistic way I would put it, I would have said, like upstage center is where I would have gone for like one simple thing rather than where it usually comes from, which is like the side, because obviously we're in the round right now. It's not end on, so it's another thing.
yeah. Well, my only concern is that I feel like it would spray overwhelmingly on someone. I don't know who, but there's someone on like every corner.
Well, I think it would have if you do it from upstage center, it would have been like the band. If you do it like where it aims like at the platform, it wouldn't spray on anyone.
Mm.
But you would still hear and see it. Depending on like where the camera angle would be positioned.
I see.
Someone there was the Disney machine. Oh, the little match girl who was in the special features Little Mermaid DVD, and I would sob every time I watched it. Huh.
I miss special features and DVDs, man. The art of DVDs. Oh, I could go on about it. Whatever. The most memorable thing I have for it, I remember was I had a Curious George DVD back in the day, and there was this game on it on the special features where you had to like click specifically like specific chocolates, and they had like specific shapes, like choose the octagon shaped chocolate or whatever, and you'd have to like choose those, and I never could figure out how to make the thing move, and so I could never select any of them, and so I sat there for hours so often. Like how? Because I was stupid and young, but I loved it.
Mm.
And I
hate it,
remember,
but I love it.
And I remember Banana Hat Man would always whine that I'm taking too long and try to remind me what I needed to do.
Yeah, it's the classic "Hey, listen" type of tutorial NPC. Little match girl repping Denmark. Yeah, and not that's why they can't say Rome, even though it's right there.
Yeah, so you were right. It is Scandinavian.
The cold snow blowing all around, chilling you to the...
Oh, that's probably why it's also on the Little Mermaid DVD, also a Danish. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
In the fading light, between day and night, going home through the cold, cold streets of the city.
Rome. I don't care. It's we're in Rome now. New rule.
Otis, is there like a nice like alternate version that's like niche among the citizens of Denmark that we can use to like that rhymes with Rome that we can make fit in here? Because it feels like Rome is the only logical thing that needs to be in here, and it's not. But if it's not Rome, then I
guess you could also go with Stockholm, which is a bit closer geographically. In the cold, cold streets of Stockholm. And yes, it's Hans Christian Andersen. Yeah.
I will also say that most fairy tales are not from a single source, but yeah.
Yeah, I forget whether or not Hans Christian Andersen did invent his ones, or whether or not he retold them and rewrote them based on the public domain rules of that type. And yeah, that's okay. Same idea. Yeah. Cinema 3 had this game in the special features that allowed you to explore the castle. I couldn't figure out how to play, but I was obsessed with it. That seems to be a recurring theme for these DVD games. If their target audience can't figure out how to play them, there might be a reason they stopped doing them.
Yeah, I don't know, but there is something, because I feel like, and this is one of the things where it's like, oh, that's quite cool, but there is kind of the aspect of like, DVDs are in home media is starting to be phased out. But even whenever it wasn't, whenever it's kind of that in the middle stage between like what one might consider the golden age and now, I feel like we were still just too focused on putting the actual thing on the DVD, and that is like the core of it. But there was an artistry to the special features and the bonus commentary and the deleted scenes and the ads beforehand and the fun animated like transition to the menu screen and everything. I feel like it really got lost, and it's a shame.
Oh yeah,
that was definitely part of the
that was the
charm.
whole. Yeah, there was a whole video about that, and they actually interviewed like one of the people who used to design like art for video games, this for DVDs, and they say like, this is like the ultimate thing that's going to become a lost art at some point.
Yeah,
That
and
being
what's
said,
so
yeah.
and what's a shame about it is that some art forms they can adapt enough, but a lot of things in what made DVDs, you can't really adapt as well into other forms.
I can imagine that a streaming service could hypothetically, do you know where they have like the recommended section sometimes? They could have like another one for special feature. They could put stuff on there in theory. I don't know how that worked for games, but then again, apparently the games didn't work anyway, so what does it matter?
Sure.
Of the city. The cold streets of the city.
I'm a match girl. I'm a natural. Been so.
Hold on, when I was younger, I couldn't watch none of your anime feel like the commentary from the kids playing along with the movie. Oh, yeah, because I guess there's like the idea of like how Ugandan films have a video Joker made famous by Who Killed Captain Alex, or it's the concept of that. Which if anything, you know, kind of shows that, you know, what we do isn't that bad necessarily. Let's see, you know, what do you prefer when someone either like talks over the thing in question, or do you prefer when people
I think here's the thing.
sort of see the whole thing?
I think the difference is that at least then they have to like manually click it and consent to it. Here they have to just click the video, and this is what they get, whether they want it or not.
Well, they manually click to consent to watching the video,
Right,
so
and that's the other thing that I don't know. I think there's also just the idea of, because I know that whenever I'm going to watch reactions, it is really the incentive behind it is to see other people experience it first time. And I guess if you're watching it alone, you aren't like pausing it and going, but where did the little match girl come from? Why don't they say Rome either? You know? So there is a bit of a difference.
Oh dear.
Since I was 7, little match girl. I'm that girl. I'm 10 now, going on 11. Who wants matches? I got matches. They're selling for just a penny. Come on up, I'm super friendly. Honestly, I've got too many.
Okay, now we've got to do the thing again. We did it for Gift of the Magi, right? Let's bring up the monetary inflation page.
All right, I'm on it.
This is our new recurring bit is adjusting for inflation.
All right, what's the amount and what's the year?
Yeah, let me just see. Okay, Little Match Girl year. The Little Match Girl published year. Let's see. December 1845. So 1845,
Wait,
1 penny.
Wait. 8. Okay. 8. God damn it. Hang on. Wait. All these just go back to 1913. Oh, hold on.
Normally, if you search it up in Google, you know, value in year, you know, then it will just like tell you.
Okay. Oh wait, officialdata.org. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so what is the amount?
1 penny. I already said.
Oh, it is okay. It is literally all right. And you said the date is 1813?
1845.
1845.
This was a bad idea.
No, it's fine. We have the website now. We're past the. It's worth 42 cents today.
Okay. All right then. Again, we usually get into crazier values as time.
Yeah,
as time goes by.
Give it a second.
Yeah. You check the worth of a Danish crown at the time. Well, they said penny, so that's their fault.
Okay, fine. Fucking. How much? How do I word this? I guess here.
One Danish crown to, I don't know, you know, currency of your choice, US dollars or whatever.
18. 45. USD. Data. I have a Danish kroner.
That yes. Go.
Guess we can. Here.
I think it's a safe assumption that kroner is the word for crown in Danish.
Okay. Okay. A penny would just literally be 1 for the DKK, right? If so, then that would be USD 14 cents.
Okay. And then you put that in,
Or,
I guess.
yeah.
Or I guess we're just going to say 14 times 14.
So that would make it 581.
There we go. All right. I wouldn't buy a match from this girl for $5.81.
We have an extra step this time when converting inflation, which is crazy.
the layers build on themselves.
Dad says don't come back at all. Luckily, I grew up on these cold, cold streets of the city.
I dream of home.
I dream of home.
I dream they'll say Rome.
Fire burning.
Fire burning.
Dinner in the oven.
Maybe a muffin.
My pulse returning. I dream of
I like the idea that, like, yeah, they're talking about like how cold it is. Then someone comes up to them, "Hey, you want something that will actually keep you warm? Maybe? Nah, get out of here. $5.81. That's too much."
I dream of home.
Okay, I will say this. I know that singing while climbing something is always a difficult task. I would definitely try to find a way to not have to, crouch down while doing so, especially if you have to keep up a meek, childlike voice when you're singing and people are already singing over the top of you.
Now going on 11. Wants matches? I got matches.
God, how many different like MAMD alumni do they have in this? Like, that's the second time in a row this has happened.
cold, 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 cold streets of the city.
Honestly, seeing Joe in that position going like that makes me think it's gonna like fade into the light or something, just like glide away. Maybe Lauren as well. Can't figure out what Brian's doing.
Excuse me, ma'am. Nice day today. A little bit cold, though, wouldn't you say? You want to warm up? I've got a way. Just buy a match.
That's one of those songs.
Mr. Do
This song is the one that gets stuck in your head for the next week, and I'm obsessed with it. Probably because it's stuck in your head for a week.
you have a sec?
Actually, it's been a week. Well, it's been just over a week since this got published, so yeah.
I know you'll love this brand new tech.
Actually, wait, no, it's been like 2 weeks, hasn't it? Yeah, from November 8th to 21st. Yeah, that feels like longer.
Accept both cash and check. Just buy a match. Excuse me, miss. Could you please lend your attention? Cause you don't wanna miss the latest modern invention. Hello, excuse me, hi. Step right up, don't be shy.
That might be why they don't want to buy matches, because they just don't know what they are. Maybe.
I'll tell you why you wanna buy a match. Hey lady, how do you do? Little bit cold, hey me too. Well, I've got just the thing for you, a brand new match. Excuse me, sir, you got a light? Well, how you light your pipe tonight? You and I both know I'm right, you need a match.
I like the idea that it's like, oh wait, what is this contraption? How does it work exactly? Well, it's quite simple, really.
Excuse me, guy, you look like you're
Yeah, Brian was
pretty
right, you're
clever.
right.
So listen, I won't lie, these are the best matches ever. So don't you pass this by, I see it in your eye. You wanna buy, please buy a match.
I just noticed the sign. I don't know if it's going to come on the screen again, but the sign says buy a match, but with the backwards C. Here's the thing. I never get why, just in case like it doesn't come back in, I never get why like media in general has like such an obsession with children spelling like letters backwards. Like I feel like it takes more effort to spell a letter backwards than it does to just use the wrong letter in theory.
I would agree. I would also say, however, that like, so here's a weird thing. I don't know if this is normal. For what I hear, it's not. But I don't really remember what anyone looks like the second I look away from them. It's quite poor, but that also kind of works
That actually
similar.
has like a condition name to it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's but it's also quite similar to how I view letters sometimes, specifically the letter S, which I always get I never know if it's one way or the other until I'm actually writing it. And if I'm writing it and I'm consciously thinking about it, then I get stuck and go haywire.
I see. Oh, my niece does that. Oh, fair enough. But yeah, well, I actually maybe I was thinking of a different thing for the condition. Not sure about the forgetting about the faces thing. That might be something else. But yeah, in any case, actually, as I was talking about this, I realized that given the time period, this girl probably wouldn't know how to write anyway. So who knows who made that sign? Actually,
Hey, don't go away, just like everybody else has done today. Don't you know a match is like a magic stick? And every time you light one, it's
there it is. See, like it doesn't even like curl all the way. It's barely recognizable. It's almost like an unfinished S actually by a match.
a magic trick. Just ignite the spark, bring light to the dark.
Light that flame, get that. Light that flame, get that. Light that flame, get that. I really want to get to Firebringer.
Mister, please, it's getting late, and I've sold none, which isn't great. Won't you be my bestest mate and buy a match? Excuse me, ma'am. Okay, excuse me, man. Okay, excuse me, sir. Excuse moi, monsieur. Okay, excuse me, mom.
Oh, it's okay at the same time.
Excuse me. Hey, that's just rude. Excuse you.
Imagine if she was doing the middle of a demo. Oh, is that the guy who bought the watch from Jimmy? Ah, it's starting to connect. He's just analyzing it because he's so enthralled by it. You almost thought the precious watch almost went up in flames. I'm a little late, but it's time for Jacob's Firebringer rendition. I don't really want to do the work today. I don't really want to do the work today. I don't really want to do the work today. I don't want to do the work today. I've said before, Firebringer is one of my top 2 favorite Starkid productions. And possibly general musical productions too.
Otis.
What?
Firebringer in Denmark, a much more underdeveloped society than cavemen.
Wow! To remind people, let me just scroll up. Let me just bring up a previous comment. There we go. Just throwing that one out there in case anyone watches this VOD later with no context. Okay.
Jesus.
Anyone?
To be fair, I've said worse things about Americans.
Sure, but they're true. I don't know how accurate it is in Denmark. Photosynthesis.
Night fell on the city, everybody went home, and the little match girl was left all alone. She knew she couldn't return empty-handed. She knew her dad wouldn't understand it.
Also, yeah, so someone did see a Disney animation of this. We talked about this earlier, actually.
Yeah,
Apparently it was
did.
on the... yeah, because we were talking about like special editions on DVDs for a while.
She went between houses branches and found a small corner. She huddled together and hoped it would warm her.
Excuse me, miss, nice day today. Extremely cold, though, wouldn't you say? You want to warm up? I've got a way. Just light a match.
This is the part I remember of the story.
Grandma says a match is like a magic stick, and every time you light one, it's a magic trick. Just ignite the spark, bring light to the dark.
Don't do it near your bag or your skirt. Okay, there we go.
I don't know if that is a skirt. It might be a dress. But there's a corset in the middle, so it's not entirely clear.
The darkness, that tiny flame, changed before her eyes, transformed and became a stone. Warm in her fingers
This again feels like Firebringer. Like the way they all came on with it.
and her toes. A stone. Warm in her tiny little nose.
What a wonderful sight, so warm and so bright. I guess
now-
Grandma was right.
Before I say this, I want to be very clear. This is not a bad thing. The actress is gorgeous, but that's not a particularly tiny nose.
Okay.
I'm just saying the lyrics are not quite accurate.
Yeah, honestly, this feels that overall the VHS Christmas Carol set like from last year, the version I'm watching right now, seems to have like the biggest visual to audio disparity of any Starkid production we've seen so far, at the very least.
That's
Oh yeah, by the way, actually, speaking of the audio, saying that this guest grandma was right. Like, I mean, you know, trust a child to have complete faith in a product before seeing the results of it, because you know, you try this with someone who's like slightly older, they'll be like, yeah, I don't know, grandma, let me see what this is like. Yeah. Oh wait, our house is made of wood. I forgot.
stick is just like
Magic. Matchstick magic. But the
Fire
flame
really
went
is
out.
just so wonderful. It is. It's so true, and I agree.
And with it the stove.
Yeah, so does Shorty.
And the little match girl was left all alone.
Yeah, you got to keep feeding that. You know, you can't just that's the problem here. You need something to keep it going.
In a world of snow and ice.
Love fire, big fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
you need a big fan. Keep those flames alive.
it worked once, why not twice?
But a terrible wind came and blew it out immediately.
Out of the darkness, that tiny flame.
Fire is alive. You feed it, it dances, and it can die. There you go. So
Yeah.
someone tell Jong the deserter that.
Changed before her eyes, transformed and became a feast. Your most delicious Christmas feast. A feast.
Okay, now she's hallucinating. We've gone from the stove and okay.
An up for 10 of her at least.
Mashed potatoes and chicken, oh how I want to dig in. Plums and puddings and pies, all right in front of my eyes.
Ooh, this is gonna be delicious. Ah! Snap back to reality. English feels like the perfect language to try the story's musical purely because the Danish word for magic. Svolstikerne? I don't know how to say that. Svolstikerne. That's my best guess. Never
I
seen that word before
appreciate
in my
that
life.
the word stick is just right there in the middle of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm guessing. I'm guessing. You know, something like stick that burns or small stick that burns or something like that. When you're dying of hypothermia, you hallucinate. Ah, okay. There we go. I love the pause frame we've had now on like Lauren's face particularly, because it does kind of cement that idea of like this feast will be your untimely doom.
Man, Greek myth can relate.
Yeah.
Magic,
Matchstick magic. But the flame went out, and with it the feast, and surrounding temperatures quickly decreased.
I like the idea that now that the flame has the source of heat is gone, so is the hallucination induced by hypothermia. Like, wait a minute. What if you can hallucinate taste? Just a taste of something good. Ah, my tongue.
I'm sure you can. You can hallucinate basically anything.
I guess it's all to do with, like, muddling the senses in some way. So yeah, in theory.
food looks so tasty, so hot. Do I dare use another? Why not?
Yeah. In fact, it literally has a term. It is called gustatory hallucinations.
Okay, so literally just taste hallucinations. Okay.
The darkness, that tiny flame, changed before her eyes, transformed and became
A tree,
a Christmas tree so big and green,
a tree.
the prettiest she'd ever seen.
Maybe I'm going crazy, but this is amazing. All covered in lights, it all makes tonight.
She didn't hallucinate hard enough. Cause when you dream a little harder, we've gone from different Starkid musical now.
Feel like magic.
Yeah, just a taste to know if I should.
God, there's so much I
That
could
was
say.
essentially what Zazalil did with the flame, right? Just going like, ow. Just
Look, man,
constant-
there's so much I can say that's just in favor of fire. I
can't
love
wait for us
fire.
Again, I really want to get to Firebringer someday.
Matchstick magic. And then an old lady appeared beside the tree.
Grandma, how can it be? Is it really you? Is it really true? I can't believe.
Oh no. I thought
Is it
for
really
a second,
true? I
thought
need
for
to
a
know.
second
Oh
this-
wait, you died 5 years ago.
No, that's my thing. So whenever she started talking about to her grandma and shit, oh my god, she leaned in front of the big like black cube, and I thought for a solid second there that she was like kneeling next to the box they put her grandma's ashes in.
That would be a huge coincidence if they happened to, if A, that was part of the hallucination, or B, the place he chose to rest was actually like on top of her grandma's grave. Although ultimately, grandma is presumed dead, and we don't think about the grandma. She's presumed dead, and she loved matches.
Well, I love fire, and that might have come from somewhere, and I'm sure my grandma's probably dead by now.
Okay.
I don't remember her. Really. I think she was ancient, though, from vague recollections.
I mean, then
And that
again,
was years ago.
Depending on how young you were, anyone would look ancient at that age.
And grandma disappeared.
You've got some grandma's ashes. Yeah, exactly. If she is indeed ashes, then yeah, probably a bit much. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, look, man, they're honoring grandma with that big box.
just like everything else has done today, I do very
Yeah, a bit of a pattern recognition going on here.
Poor girl. Grandma, don't go.
stay.
So Match Girl took the whole bunch and lit every
that's a-
match at once.
By the way, there is literally a joke about this in Avatar, where in the episode of the Cave of Two Lovers, where the where the nomad band they find decides, like, they have like torches that last for 2 hours. each, and they say like, "Boss, that's 10 hours in total," and they light them all at once, and Sokka's like, "I can light them all at once." Oh yeah. That was really like, I cannot afford another child to go out and get me money or go see your grandma. She'll be seeing her grandma soon at this rate.
Oh, my child, I've missed you so. I've missed you so too. I'm so sorry I had to go. Where did you go to? I've been somewhere with joy and laughter, living happily ever after.
To be fair, if you do squint at it, and I think about this now, I mean, there is quite a bit actually about how fire relates to me personally, but I think on the aspect of just this one story, the use of fire as like memory, I think is pretty relevant, especially with the context of this being Scandinavian. I know that in Norse myths it is often associated with the core elements of history, right? So birth, death, and revival.
And here I was thinking water had memory. Thanks, Olaf.
I've been somewhere with love, so much love.
I'm in a place with lots of fire, child. Don't you worry. Grandma, where did you end up? Where'd your soul go?
Which I know you're in need of. Where I am, it's never cold. That sounds amazing.
Wow, my joke actually works there. Okay. Grandma is short. Yeah, I know Grandma is short. I was trying to think of a way to like tie this in some way. I guess if she like touched the forehead or something like that. But yeah. Honestly, yeah, this is a very now that BB's not here, this is a very Chorn coded moment, I think.
I'm here. I'm just muted.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
But no, I really like that she has a candy cane. I really want that.
I mean, I feel like all candy canes are candy cane canes, but
No, I mean if you look at the coloring, it's like it's noticeably candy cane.
So amazing. Where I am, there's no pain or hunger, no snow, no rain or thunder. But when you lit that flame, here I came. Does this place have a name?
yeah, you don't want to know the name of the place where there's no rain or thunder and is never cold. You don't want to know the answer to that one yet. Yes, but oh yeah, we mentioned this last year. Actually, I'm pretty sure I mentioned last year that Chorn was the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. But I feel like I said
No.
that.
You know, to be fair, again, I bring in Norse myth, and again, it does have a hell. Not hell in the Christian sense. It's one L hell. And much like Greek mythology, is also ruled by a goddess named Hel. And has like a proper like geography and everything. So honestly, really, this isn't so awful. It's not like the torturous damnation, you know.
The question is there rain and thunder in this place, and does it get cold?
Probably not in all of them. I don't know which areas do or don't. I don't know its geography as well as I do for the underworld of like Greek.
There's no reason to believe that Francis Fernandez made that connection in 1800s Denmark. Well, there's no reason to believe that he didn't. The tales existed.
Well, okay, hold on. They existed in a Christianized form. To be clear, it's taken a lot of research to get to what we know now. But at the same time, Denmark is also a Scandinavian place, which is kind of the birthplace of it. You'd think that at least you guys would. I mean, I figured he probably knew a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if Shakespeare knew enough about Greek and Roman mythology, then you think that's, yeah. Not that he knew everything. He constantly got the two mixed up, but, you know, close enough.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a place without rain. Rain is the most comfortable thing to listen to and watch from a warm, dry place, of course. See, for me...
Just play a YouTube video then in that case, if you want that. Or, like, play some audio. You don't.
See,
If you're not going to be in the actual rain, you don't need the rain.
I feel the same way about snow. I think snow is nice to look at and not be in. I think rain, however, fills me with poor memories, anxiety, and dread, and sleepless nights. One time, it was actually very recently. It thundered quite so hard, I almost had a panic attack. I was about to leave my room actually, but I had to get presentable first. And then as soon as I got up to get presentable, it stopped. So I was like, "Oh well, fuck you."
I love I love this idea of like some like imminent threat happening, and then you just go like,
A little bit more theatrical than a little bit more theatrical than how it happened, but sure. More like me running towards my restroom, shutting the door so that way it muffles the sound a little bit, and then doing my makeup and shaving while shaking.
That's even worse. It's like that's extra stuff on top of like being like presentable. It's just like
Yeah. I gotta say, my panic attacks are not quite as audible as that, but yeah, I guess in my mind, they're not quite as noisy. Sure. You sound like you sound like SpongeBob crying, but
I just love this. It's like I'm gonna die. No sits. I'm gonna die.
Also, Otis is correct. Greek and Roman are infinitely more better documented. The Christianization really fucked up a lot of different ancient religions. The problem is that the reason Greek and Roman got so well documented is because they were some of the first to actually write stuff down. Most religions spread through word of mouth, including the ancient Norse and heathenism and all. And it wasn't until Christianity came along, and because Christians realized pretty quickly that people wouldn't just want to change their entire worldview in a day. So they realized, hey, what are we going to do? Simple. We'll simply retcon our own religion and force the others to fit in. So they would take stories and slightly alter them so that way they're somewhat more compatible for people who were like, oh, okay, I guess. Like Celtic mythology has that, where you have like the Fionn Dadanan, I think, which are the Irish gods. According to the texts, however, which were post-Christianization, they are just they're a generation of supernatural humans descended from either Adam or what's it for or Noah, I forget which one. But they were not technically gods per se, but as we've later found out, they very much were, and we just didn't know until later.
Sounds like a fantastic 80s cartoon. If you can't beat them, integrate them into their own. Yeah, if you can't beat them,
hey, why don't you look at the history of Christmas itself? Ironically enough.
Yeah, if you can't beat them, don't join them. Make them join you.
Yeah,
there you go. That's the altered version of that. That's the Christianized saying.
If you can't beat them, simply gaslight them.
Yeah.
Let's call it Grandma Land. You heard me, Grandma Land.
From now on, From now on, I'm referring to every the bad place as Grandma Land.
Because nobody else can understand like a
To be fair, Four Girls, Otis is not wrong. That was also arguably a quartet.
I mean, doesn't that like also imply that you've beaten them at that point? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess because them is not necessarily the people, but the religion, and the religion is a bit more eternal.
Okay.
Oh, it's not what you planned. My here, honey, take my hand. You're coming to Grandma Land, just Grandma and you.
like I said, she's gonna meet her grandma soon.
And do people buy matches?
Girl, are you crazy? Grandma land, no one knows what a match is.
Okay, amazing.
Why is that amazing? No one knew what a match was anyway.
Grandma land's always warm.
Also, that has the same, again, going back to Chorn, the same idea of like, oh, there is no God.
And sunny, Grandma land, there's no need for money. People have all they need, guaranteed.
They don't need anything because
Just follow
Little Match Grandma.
Does all they need include art?
Oh my goodness! Wait a minute. That's the Disney sequel. You have Little Match Grandma. Straight to DVD.
Yeah, that is a straight to DVD if I've ever heard one. Yeah, Little Match Girl 1.5, Grandma's Grand Adventure.
No, Little Match 1.5 is middle age.
Let's go to Grandma Land.
And it actually just takes place in like Middle Ages.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a little bit going back in time from 1800s Denmark, but oh well.
1.5 took place during the movie for Lion King.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if that's like, that's not like a 1.5 deal. That's just, I mean, I guess 1.5. I don't know if 1.5 is accurate, but I don't know that there's a numerical version that is accurate.
I don't know. I think Tarzan 2 happened like an in-between portion of the first movie during the growth montage. So I don't know. Anyway, I don't know how it happened, but the girl just turned to grandma and died.
Grandma Land, where there's always tons of hugs and snugs, 'cause that's just a Grandma Land.
By the way, I'm going to say this. She's dropped all of the matches. They are currently on the ground, and Denmark is on fire.
Where you can see firsthand
All of Denmark.
what makes a grandma grand. Let's go to Grandma Land, just Grandma and you.
Grandma land,
Grandma Land,
Grandma land,
Grandma Land,
I like to imagine she's just curled up into a ball in the real world and people are walking by hearing Grandma Land, Grandma Land, Grandma Land.
While like 18 matches are burning around her at the same time, like in a circle. This is meant to be the sad song. What are we doing?
People walking by, man, maybe I do want one of those matches now.
Too late, they're all being used.
It was limited time supply.
That's what she should have done. That's the sales pitch.
It is,
Buy a
yeah.
match or go to Grandma Land.
That's the
Quick, she's dying. Steal her matches. That's the plot twist. The matches didn't all burn out at once. They actually just got stolen and replaced with regular sticks.
I'm gonna make that threat from now on. If you don't do this, you're gonna go to Grandma Land.
That's like the way of the dinosaurs from old 90s censored Dragon Ball Z. Even though dinosaurs aren't extinct in the world of Dragon Ball, so it made no sense. Anyway, when hypothermia is set in, you have this thing where you start to feel like you're burning hotter, so you strip your clothes off.
That sounds.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say they're not going to do that in this play.
So that is a thing that happens, but also, why take off your clothes? It's warm.
Yeah, well, because it's so warm and so it's burning hot, you want to, remove the things that are making it hotter for you.
That's just a shower for me. What do you
Okay,
do?
but I believe that most people who are, who are suffering from hypothermia do not have ready access to indoor plumbing most of the time. I'm sure there are exceptions out there.
Yeah, but if it feels like they're that hot, then just keep the clothes on.
Okay, well, the point is that the clothes would be burning them in their own minds. So why would they keep the clothes on?
Because it's warm. It's fire. So this says it's just a fact. 4 Girls says facts are fun. You guys want to know a fun fact? Whales, or is it dolphins? One of the two have 5 fingers. It doesn't look like it, but if you look at their skeleton structure, they got 5 fingers.
Okay, I'm gonna guess whales, but you never know.
Welcome to Grandmaland.
We made it!
Magical Grandmaland.
Gotta love the
So,
rest
okay.
of the canes there.
I'm
as well.
sorry. I don't know. This might be the most unhinged thing I've said in a while, purely for the
That's saying a lot considering
nonsensical
what we
nature of it.
just said for this very song number. So go on.
Guys, if you look at the ground in that little like I don't know, not circle, but kind of that pattern, kind of SpongeBob coded.
Okay.
I'll just leave you guys with that.
Yeah. Welcome to Grandma Land. Everybody's got bad knees here in Grandma Land.
Yep.
Depending on whether your joints will freeze.
You
And
need to
you're
watch the
vulnerable
SpongeBob
to
musical. It's
disease.
life-changing. I have heard the SpongeBob musical is good. I know it made it to Broadway, and I've heard 2 songs from it, I think. And
I've heard 2 songs.
both of them did rule. Yeah, we kind of should watch it, but I don't know if we would be able to. It might get taken down.
Yeah.
Where one and all can sing this song along with the Grandma Land. A place where there's floating lands. A place where your soul expands.
Step into Grandma
Step into Grandma Land. Safe here in Grandma
Oh, there's the smoke on the ground, whether dry ice or not. It's there. And this is passing through the veil. But then all the matches went out. So-
Yeah, she was this close to salvation, and now she's back to the real world.
No,
Just like
dang it,
real
the
life.
song was too long. It's like the moment where you're like, it's the moment like you drew up like an entire 3-act structure for yourself. The moment you get like the biggest the biggest conflict, like the climax of the dream. Suddenly, that's when you wake up or you realize that you're dreaming. It's like, oh come on, I want to know what the end of that was going to be.
We had one more lyric left. We should have just stayed. Again, classic Butter Bunch.
Why did she have to go? Why couldn't she stay? Why couldn't she find what she needed?
And then they
some
broke her
other
knees.
You're a real grandma now.
She shouldn't have had to go to Grandma Land till she had to.
I hope that my knees are fine
Why
when I become ancient, because I think that enough of my body is broken already that it should be a nice trade-off.
Yeah. Well, you just be focused on that pain instead.
Yeah.
Your arms have been the arms she ran to. Why couldn't you be the light in the darkness? Be the warmth in the cold. Be the hands that helped her. Be the arms that held her. Be the dawn that ends the night. Why couldn't you? Why couldn't I be the light? Wish I didn't see myself in the story, but I do. Those folks who passed her by, I know that point of view.
Interesting. Never had like a narrator get personally involved in the story, or to this degree. That's interesting. Didn't
I
change
know
here.
what it's like to act like I don't
House of Leaves.
see.
Okay.
To turn a blind eye and keep my mind on me.
Oh, okay. She's got a candle now. That's
Man, now
green.
that she's entered Grandma Land, she's upgraded.
Welcome to Grandma Land, where our candles are for some reason green. With Jim and Della finally bought it. Yeah, well, I mean, we already have the watch salesperson, so who knows?
Which doesn't save that little girl, which just creates a lonely world. I know it's easier said than done, but it's up to us, to everyone, to be the light in the darkness, be the warmth in the cold, be the hands that...
Okay, hold on a second. I need to address this comment. Do you know that Mr. Bean stole James Acaster's girlfriend? Kind of funny fact. Okay. What makes this funnier is the fact that it wasn't Rowan Atkinson that did this, but actual Mr. Bean. that feels like it would be even funnier. It's like he rizzed her as Mr. Bean, but no, I'm guessing not. I'm guessing that's not what happened.
Hey, that's okay. 4Girls says they too would leave their boyfriend for Mr. Bean.
Okay. Well, you know what? You're in luck because I happen to know from being in close proximity to the guy that all he talks about is Mr. Bean. He talks more about Mr. Bean than Mr. Bean talks himself. For context, I was he was a guest speaker at the drama school that I attended.
Help someone, be the arms that hold someone, be the dawn that ends the night. We gotta be the light.
We got a bean.
Oh goodness.
What's in the gift that you're giving?
Be the light.
What's in the life that you're living?
Coming up, we'll hear about a man who learned this lesson.
Okay, here we go. So I'm guessing now we're about to transition into Christmas Carol. Again, on the fence of whether or not we should continue. We've been going for like an hour. It's not been too much yet, so maybe we should continue. I don't know if.
Through him, we may understand the answers to his questions.
We may not really like him, at least not right away.
Okay, they are just like going to this. Okay, so I left a comment here by the way that the original story ends with the body being discovered. Like that's the actual ending. To which I say, yeah, of course. That makes so much sense.
The last word she ever said was Grandma Land.
They just take the body back to her father. We don't know what that means. Does that mean anything to you? No. No, it doesn't. Okay, there's an intermission break. Okay, all right. Let's.
But all of us can learn from him that it's never too
Also, yeah, we've got the same costume actually.
late to be the light in the darkness.
Not the same actor, but same costume.
Be the warmth in the cold. Be the hands that help someone. Be the arms that hold someone. Be the dawn that ends the night. We gotta be alive.
This is how they chose a character. Is part of the meaning of these stories, almost like a kid reading these for the first time. Yeah. Oh yeah, because we ended the last one with what's in a gift. Yeah. If anything, the narrator's the one with the journey. Across all these. Yeah. Bah
That's quite
humbug.
cool.
Tosses it. Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know if they showed it in the musical, and I don't. So in the actual story, he actually doesn't have like lights and stuff. They make a point for that. He's that stingy that he doesn't really have like lighting. He just uses a candle. He just walks around with a candle.
Hmm. Yep, there we go. That makes more sense.
I like that that whenever he blows it out, it's aggressive. By the way, that's a nice choice.
Hmm. All right, so hit pause if you'd like an intermission. Okay, well, again, not entirely sure. How long was the previous stream that we did?
About the same length as this one. It seems like these are roughly an hour with how long we're taking.
Okay. Maybe, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, like the next one is going to be twice as long because we are the intermission and obviously the whole Christmas Carol thing after this. It feels like we should probably give this, another week, assuming they don't again, put this behind a paywall in between that time, in which case we're kind of toast, I suppose.
Guys, you guys see like last stream seem to make it seem like this is a thing that they've done more than once? Do you know roughly when they put these on, when they close these?
What they said last stream was that they perform this. They perform this every year. Not that they make last year's performance available on YouTube every year.
Oh, I guess yeah. VHS Smith lyrics. We're not talking about reindeer. We're not talking about elves. We're not talking about a major. We're talking about a look inside ourselves.
Yeah, that was from. Yeah, we did that. I got that last time. But oh yeah, by the way, yeah, this comment here in the game house flipper, there are a few levels we can clean a house for Scrooge. At some point, we have to take away all electrical things and replace them with candles.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, they make a point that he lives in this really dingy area, no lights, just a candle. It's not even like a big mansion. It's kind of just a small place relative to most.
Yeah, which is surprisingly a sensible thing for a rich person because normally where you hear about rich people homes, they always it's like, oh yeah, wow, so spacious, all these different features and stuff and blah blah blah. And it's like I mean, most people are comfortable with the houses that all the residences they have. Relatively speaking, some people aren't obviously, but I mean, like people tend to be like comfortable with far less than what you've seen from like the mega release, but yet you hear like, oh yeah, I don't know, Ronaldinho bought like 57 properties or something. Like,
yeah, well, I think what's also missing in a lot of these is
you can't even spend like 1 week in all those properties every single year. That's kind of like where it's
well, I think part of the reason why it does that is part of the theme of grief. Because it's a thing that gets missed in a lot of adaptations. But they clarify it's only been like a year since the guy's death. Like Scrooge is still, yeah, he's still like super like grieving.
Well, yeah, but I mean, considering that the first line of the book is Marley was dead, I feel like they would cover that. They would. I mean, also, bear in mind that in lots of the stories, like you have someone come in just being like, okay, you moved to Scrooge and Mr. Marley to Bob Cratchit, who is obviously neither of them. So clearly, people expect Mr. Marley to still be around. So word hasn't spread too far. So it can't have been that long.
It should have spread further. Even within a year, it should have spread further. That's just a plot hole as far as I'm concerned. But no, I mean, you're right. The book says that. But most things don't clarify that, like, it's a really recent death.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, it's still sensible because I mean, it's like the difference between like those diagrams you see of people like like wearing like a bunch of like expensive either jewelry or clothing or something. Then you look at someone like Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos who wear the same thing like almost every single day. It's like, well, yeah, and it's very plain because I mean. They don't need to show off their wealth because people know that they're wealthy. It's kind of, I guess, the same thing with Scrooge on some level.
Yeah,
Like, why bother with that?
that's fair.
This is first made in 2021. Oh, it's first made in 2020, all online, kind of like the early Nightmare time. Yeah, because it was actually made in like the VHS format, in quotes. Which, by the way, there's a version of Christmas Electricity actually that they made available from the VHS version.
Did they ever release this in a VHS tape? That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like if they ever released any version on a VHS tape, it would be the original 2020 version, in theory. This is first day 2021, they put it on the 9 since then. Yeah. I want to go see it one day. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I like how they finally performed. They finally performed in the UK, and then that was around the same time preparing to leave. So, timing. But yeah, okay. So I guess final thoughts on Little Match Girl. I feel like probably I don't know. It feels like it's it feels like that there's even less to work with than Gift of the Magi. However, what they did do, I think they improved that from the first one, because I mean the first one, they shot themselves in the foot like many times over. In this one, they didn't really. We're just like making a bunch of jokes over it. I guess they didn't want to show the remains of the girl, so they kind of they kind of made the point with the Grandma Land thing. I mean, ultimately, this was basically like 2 scenes. And I thought to myself, like, okay, well, this is basically all I know about the Little Match Girl. I guess that was just most of the story, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
I don't know. I think
Chicago.
I think there was probably less as far as scenes go than there was last time, but I feel like I feel like this one was still more well put together. And I also think that with the combination of both of them, it's becoming more clear that these aren't really the most relevant bits necessarily. These are reflective of the narrator. And so I think the narrated journey and how that's going should be the thing we're paying the most attention to at this point.
I guess that's probably why the chat told us to watch this in one go rather than to split it ultimately. Oh well, at least we're aware of what we're looking for now. We're still going to split it, but yeah, we acknowledge that now. Yeah,
yeah.
And again, people say,
yeah, I think our perspective just has to shift a little bit now.
Okay, yeah. Grandma, what is Grandpa doing in Grandma Land? Wait, Grandpa had a few revelations upon death.
Right, Grandpa was actually a world-renowned drag queen.
And now she performs in Grandma Land every day.
Yeah, you're right. I love the idea that in Grandma Land they occasionally allow like the non women to show up only if they're like a drag royalty or like they're genderqueer or something, and it's like this big event. It's like for their Christmas is just the big drag day.
Which honestly, for the stereotype about grandmas not being as open-minded as because they're from a different era, very much an interesting twist there. Yeah, having geriatric drag brunch,
right? Drag.
Okay, that's the drag name. There you go.
Hey man, honestly, I'd rather have Grandma Land with the candy cane canes and the drag and everything. I would rather have that than probably the cigar smoke-filled Grandpa Land.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, one of the only male cats we heard about in this was about to light a pipe, but refused to have a match for it. So I guess the tobacco addiction hadn't kicked in quite yet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, like I was saying, yeah, I do agree this was put together. And also another thing, they didn't have to reprise any of the songs either. unlike Gift of the Magi, which had to fill up its own content with itself again, even though this was 2 scenes, they say somehow felt like much more. Like they took that than the other version.
Yeah.
Than the story that came before. And the story that came after, I can only assume, considering it's twice the length, and we've already seen a version of it that we quite admire from last year. I can only assume that it is the thing that will be the best way to wrap this all up, and that's why they've saved it for last. But I guess we won't find out about that until next week.
Yeah.
Again, depending if they decide to, incentivize people to buy tickets by closing down this version immediately because it's opening tonight. But we shall have to see. If not, you can check out our review of VHS Christmas Carol live from last year, the one that's actually going to be permanently available on YouTube. So that's something for all of you. And if not, obviously the original link to this is in the description. But the live chat have seen it already. The VOD watchers, it's down there. But let us know your thoughts of liking or disliking, leaving your comments on things that we've missed or more fun facts about 1800s Denmark, Christianization, and or the little match girl. And your choice. We'll see you all soon enough in another Butter Bunch video. Toodle pip.
Bye.